Yeah, thank you, Ron. All right, welcome to the last panel of the day, Food and Animals and Festivals. Let me introduce Francesco Della Costa from Gurion University of the Negev, Sheva in Israel. He obtained his master's degree in ethnography at the University of Rome, La Sapienza, and carried out his PhD in cultural anthropology at the University of Naples, La Orientale, and at the in Paris. Thank you very much for the help. His research fields are anthropology of writing, anthropology of literature, autobiography, memory, and also ritual and the sacred. Currently, he is a postdoctoral fellow in the anthropology of food at the sociology and anthropology department of the Gurion University in Sheva, where he is working on Jewish kashrut and Italian cuisine together. Very interesting. He has participated in several international conferences and has published various articles in peer-reviewed journals. He is also editor-in-chief of Prima Persona, a journal published by the National Diary Archive in Italy, which he has collaborated with since 2007. His presentation is the Venerable Pig, ritual food sharing within a traditional festival in Abruzzo, Italy. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everybody. I will first of all thank M1 and all the nice staff and the University of Oxford for organizing such an interesting meeting and hosting us today here. I intend to give a brief presentation about the festival in honor of Saint Anthony the Abbot, which is very common in all Italy and in general in the areas where the peasant culture was stronger. Signally, I want to focus on the celebration which takes place in Collelongo, a little town in Abruzzo. So let's zoom in to focus a little more the area where this celebration takes place. So the central southern Italy, and that region in red is Abruzzo, which is culturally closer to the southern regions of Italy. And then a little sub-region, Marsica, where the cult of Saint Anthony is spread all over. And Collelongo, which is a mountain village of a little more of 1,000 inhabitants. And when does it happen? The liturgical calendar celebrates the feast of Saint Anthony on January 17 and includes, after the Holy Mass, a special blessing for farm animals and the free giving of a little bread to all the devotees. But the folkloric celebration takes place on the feast day, January 16. Starts from the sunset and lasts almost all night long. Now I want to show you a short film about the celebration to let you taste a little bit what happens in Collelongo every year on January 16. It is a film the municipality of Collelongo produced 3 years ago, which therefore stands as a self-representation. For this reason and for the rhetoric language it used, I found it particularly interesting. And since this is the last panel, maybe we can relax a little bit. I hope it works.
In Abruzzo, in una valle della Marsica, nei giorni della festa di Saint Anthony the Abbot si rinnova un'antica tradizione che si perde nei secoli. Compaiono le fisarmoniche e i canti si fondono in un'unica lunga melodia. conche riscagnate sono simbolo in memoria, da antichi contenitori per l'acqua a icone della festa.
O glorioso Sant'Antonio, nella tua dimora gloriosa, non dimenticare le tristezze della terra, la speranza e la pace. Evviva Sant'Antonio!
Il Gran Turco si trasforma in cicerone e il calore del cottore diventa accoglienza e condivisione, l'anima della comunità.
Un caffè, un po' di cioccolato. Il caffè lo prendo volentieri, guarda. Quindi niente, siamo andati poi accompagnateci per fare questa cosa.
Si accendono le fiaccole e i grandi torcioni per allontanare le tenebre. Il fuoco si consuma lento insieme alla notte.
Signore benedici questo cibo che ti ho preparato nel nome di Sant'Antonio, nel nome del Padre, del Figlio e dello Spirito Santo. Amen. E viva Sant'Antonio!
Now, let's focus shortly on some of the elements you already noticed in the video. First of all, we need to focus on the saint figure. According to the official tradition of the Catholic Church, he was a hermit monk who lived in the Egyptian desert between the 3rd and the 4th century. But the folkloric tradition represented him always with animals, and in particular with a little pig and with fire, as you can see also in the pictures. And in the hand of the statue, it has a flame, even though there is an orange now. And his feast is the first of the year, and in Collelongo is traditionally considered like the real New Year starting. And then, of course, the attribute of the fire reveals how Saint Anthony has the role of master of fire, who rules on this ambivalent element. Of course, lighting of torches and of the big fire in the square represents one of the traditional winter solstice rituals, the magical act to overcome the winter darkness. But Saint Anthony is also considered a defender from the fire and from the herpes zoster, a skin infection which is commonly called fuoco di Sant'Antonio in Italy, Saint Anthony's fire. And then the pig. In ancient times, the community families used to grow together a pig, feeding it by devotion to the saint, and then to sold it and use the money for the celebration of the saint in general. Nowadays this tradition is not kept, but the connection between the saint and the pig is still strong. In the same period, indeed, in the same period of the feast, people slaughter pigs within special rituals on a family level. The men, even the boys, cooperate to the slaughtering and then celebrating eating together a meal of fresh pork meat which the women prepare at home. In Collelongo, families offer to the priest and through the priest to the saint a part of their pork meat. Then the questua, the request, the begging. On Saint Anthony's feast eve, several groups of men go door to door singing the legend of the saint, whose role is played by a member of the group who wears a fake beard and sackcloth, overcoming the devil's temptation in the desert. After the song, they ask to be repaid for their ritual service, and the landlords give them particular food, which I will show you in a little while. The song you have heard. The song the band sing is the reduced poetic version of a real folk drama which played the stories of the devil tempting Saint Anthony in the desert. It has to be noticed that all the stories have a carnivalesque tone and represents daily life scenes where the devil spies the saint rather than testing his faith. And then l'ecotore, you have read this word, it means big pot, this big pot boiling on the fire. This is a specific tradition of Collelongo. 7 houses every year open their doors to the bands of singers, which represent what in the past must be the poor and the beggars, to the community and to the foreign visitors, offering them food, red wine, sweets and pastries. But in particular, the family in charge of every cottora, meaning the houses where these big pots are boiling, start boiling on the fireplace a big amount of cereals and chickpeas, the cicerocchi, this is the word they use, from the afternoon, and then wait for the priest to come for the blessing. The priest and the mayor also, you have seen in the video, go to every cottora and opens the sharing. After the blessing, everybody can eat together the cicerocchi in the house. And last but not least, the sausages, the pork meat sharing. Along with cicerocchi, pork meat is shared by the bands and the community in special roasted pork sausages and prosciutto with which the sandwich the families offer are filled. This pork meat sharing emphasizes the correspondence between the saint and the pig, and whether we consider pig in a materialist or symbolist perspective, this ritual exemplifies the category of holy meal and explains the coincidence of saint and pig as the mythical hero that, in the middle of the cyclical winter socio-economic crisis, refounds the society by the sacrifice of himself. The pig and the saint, on a mythical and on historical level, coincide with an ambiguous entity which manifest both the traits of the founder hero and those of the trickster. The saint indeed can provide abundance and wealth to those who offer him the right ritual tribute. Otherwise, he has the power to waste the food supplies of those who disrespect him. Similarly, the pork meat was so central in local peasants' economy that pig sickness or leanness was such a misfortune that had to be fought by magical religious weapons. Slaughtering pigs by mid-January was a crucial economic activity, and it was ritually re-signified through Saint Anthony feast as the social refundation of time and of the community unity, as the restoring of light and abundance after the darkness and the frugality of the winter. And today in Colelongo they still celebrate this new unity of the group by the food sharing, which has become the main event, of course, and the touristic welcoming of foreign visitors. This is about all. Thank you.